I should not have a reply for idiots. Gumi reacts to call for his arrest over divisive comments. Can you imagine Gumi is now calling people idiots? And that is very bad. And I remember that FFK had replied to Gumi for making all those statements. Now Gumi is saying that he has no reply for idiots. Now, wow. This guy is actually very divisive and very violent, and he's going to turn this country upside down if care is not taken. And this is a very divisive statement. Religion of violence. You are preaching this in the mosque, and you are inciting violence. All this hate speech and violence. And if it's somebody from Southeast, Southwest, or South that made this comment, they will go after him immediately. This is terrible, I tell you. A Kaduna-based controversial Islamic scholar, Sheikh Gumi, has said he will not reply to those calling for his arrest over his recent disparaging comments against Christians in the country, according to Daily Post. So Gumi, in a sermon in a viral video, referred to the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, as the devil incarnate after the minister hosted the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria in Abuja. The Muslim cleric claimed that Wike had invited Israeli intelligence to help him pattern the FCT security architecture, and after that of Tel Aviv, Israel's capital city. So he alleged that such collaboration would lead to the profiling of Muslims as it happened in Tel Aviv. So he went on to stress how dangerous it is to entrust power into the hands of Christians and Satanists, arguing that they would always use such positions to victimize Muslims. Why is this guy turning a religious bigot, an Islamic bigot? This is terrible. So his comment has sparked reactions from individuals and groups across the country, with many calling for his immediate arrest and prosecution for his attempt to incite violence. And this also came as he is not showing any form of remorse. However, when the newspaper reached out to him for his reaction to the backlash that trailed his comment and the call for his arrest, the clergy simply resorted, "I should not have a reply for idiots in the democracy." Can you imagine? So now, because the Southerners and the Christians are the ones that are calling for his arrest, even some Northerners have actually disowned him. So he's now calling Christians and Southerners idiots. That is what it means. So Sheikh Ahmad Gumi is now calling Christians and Southerners idiots. That is what it means. And that is a very bad statement coming from him. How can you call Christians and Southerners idiots just because you are pressing your point home in a very controversial manner that is divisive in nature? That is not acceptable. That is it. And I tell you, a lot of people will call for his arrest, and FFK has actually reminded him of the things he said and countered him by giving him some statistics of 1966 to 1970. Okay, and all that has been happening in the north up to now with Boko Haram, ISWAP, and all of them. So actually, they are the Boko Haram, the ISWAP, the terrorists that Gumi has been fronting and supporting are actually the biggest player in Nigeria, and we need a very concerted effort to provide a kind of security architecture that will actually checkmate them and tame them, because they need to be tamed. That is it. Now they have started causing problem again in Ondo State and Ogun State, or Oyo State and Ogun State. They have beheaded people there, and the violence has started again. And nobody is talking about it. The government is not doing anything about it. And when the people take laws into their hands to protect themselves, they will use the military might of the nation to go and silence the people. A very bad one, I tell you. So let's see. There are a few comments again. Nigeria, my country. Once an idiot keeps busy beard around his jaw, he has become a scholar without sense. That is it. That is Gumi that I'm talking about now. Another is saying it is battling how a trained former captain of the Nigerian Army and medical doctor would abandon. Yeah, baffling. He will abandon all his training to tow this path. It's quite an unfortunate situation. It is baffling, really, not battling, it's baffling. So it's very, very baffling. A Nigerian army captain and a medical doctor to have gone to the way of religious bigotry like this, it is very, very surprising and an unfortunate situation. I tell you the truth, that is very, very correct. Gumi is obviously a disappointment to so many people. Some say this Gumi might have injected soldiers who are Christians and who are from the southern part of Nigeria with poisonous substances to terminate their lives. Well, that is a grievous allegation that currently has no proof, but just because of his behavior, you never can tell what he could have done when he was in the military, I tell you. But then you don't have proof, so it's difficult to propagate such suspicion. Okay. So say Gumi, go to Daura and tell Buhari that this is no longer Hausa Fulani terrorist regime. Go and apologize to certain Kaduna people whom you have killed all alongside Buhari El-Rufai. That is it. It is the nauseating arrogance for him. I tell you, it is very bad. Very, very bad. That this guy is still working freely after making all these disparaging statements against the Southerners. Gumi is uncomfortable with invitation given by Israel security apparatus. The evil agenda of his group, Islamic terrorists, will soon be over. Okay, which Islam is he defending? The Muslim bandits are killing in Niger State, Katsina, and Zamfara. Are not Muslim. They are just allergic to peace. That is it. Evil people everywhere. And that is very, very bad. Terribly, very bad. Okay. The reply of Gumi shows that he is above the law of Nigeria. Otherwise, he should not have called people that told him truth over his unwise comment about the appointment of Wike as FCT minister and that of Christians. Gumi must be ashamed of himself. For a truth, Gumi is not reasonable at all for seeing his fellow Nigerians not being worthy to serve the country in that capacity in the federal FCT. It's not acceptable, and that is very bad. He certainly sees himself as above the law, but one day, go be one day for him. You know, good thing, Abi. As always, say, just relax. We know how to trap him. Okay, go and trap him. He is a typical terrorist. That is what he is. Quite unfortunate that Nigeria is still condoling people like that. Gumi is a controversial religious leader who had never spoke for peace in any administration in Nigeria. Okay? In fact, he had no leadership qualities in both religion and secular administration. Okay? That is it. Quite unfortunate situation. I'm sure he's threatened, just like what somebody has said, inviting Israelis to come and help fashion out the security system in Abuja. He's very, very scared because that will catch up with all of them that are terrorists in that place. Especially because it was so bad during Buhari government that bandits, ISWAP and Boko Haram had to attack the guard of brigade, and that is the barrack that is responsible for securing, providing security to the Aso Rock National Assembly and the seat of federal government. They attacked that place and they went free. Up to today, nobody was arrested. The issue was not investigated. What a bad omen. They entered NDA Kaduna on a Friday and abducted generals. Nothing has happened till today. What a bad situation. So, and these are the people that Gumi is protecting and supporting. So now that a Southerner is coming to provide a security architecture that will put an end to that, at least within Abuja, with the seat of federal government there, he's feeling threatened. I'm sure Gumi is feeling threatened. But again, just like somebody told him before, that the days of negotiating with ISWAP, bandits, criminals, and and Boko Haram has passed. His time has passed, and let him get ready because consequence of what he has done will soon come to him. And somebody saying, arrest Gumi now if you want peace in Nigeria. Nobody will go because they fear them, or all of them are in power. So who arrest who? They can't arrest themselves. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.